chief economics commentator for the Financial Times, concludes, this is a determined effort to shift resources from the bottom, middle, and even upper middle of the U.S. income distribution toward the very top, combined with big increases in economic insecurity for the great majority. Wolf says the real puzzle is why this is a politically successful strategy. The Republican Party is pursuing an economic agenda for the 0.1%, but it needs to win the votes of the majority. In a recent essay, Berkeley political scientist Paul Pierson argues that Trump entered office with a set of inchoate ideas and no real organization. Thus, his administration was ripe for takeover by the most ardent, organized, and well-funded elements of the Republican Party, which are its libertarian wing. Nurtured and built up over the years, this group of conservatives decided to ally with the Trump administration to enact its long-standing agenda. So is it that the Republican Party is cleverly and successfully hoodwinking its supporters, promising them populism, and then enacting plutocratic capitalism? Many have argued that Republicans have been able to work this magic trick by dangling social issues in front of working-class voters who fall for the bait and lose sight of the fact that they are voting against their own interests. But what if people are not being fooled? What if people are actually motivated far more deeply by issues surrounding religion, race, and culture than they are by economics? There's increasing evidence that Trump's base supports him because it feels a deep emotional, cultural, and class affinity for him. And while the tax bill is being analyzed by economists, Trump picks fights with black athletes, retweets misleading anti-Muslim videos, and promises never to yield on immigration. Perhaps he knows his base better than we do. In fact, Trump's populism might not be as unique as it's made out to be. Polling from Europe now suggests that the core issues motivating people to support Brexit or the far-right parties in France and Germany and even the populist parties of Eastern Europe are cultural and social. The most important revolution in economics in the last generation has been the rise of the behavioral scientists trained in psychology who are finding that people systematically make decisions that are against their own interests. This might be the tip of the iceberg in understanding human motivation. The real story might be that people see their own interests in much more emotional and tribal way than scholars understand. What if in the eyes of a large group of Americans, these other issues are the ones for which they will stand up, protest, support politicians, vote, and even pay an economic price? What if for many people in America and around the world, these are their true interests? For more, go to cnn.com/Fareed and read my Washington Post column this week.